Hello and welcome back to Rolex Play, where we roll dice and play games. That's the name of the game. And here you have joined us for our weekly game. Semi-weekly, whenever we try to get in the game and get everyone here together. Today we have everyone. We have everyone here. Everyone is present, accounted for. And yeah, so with that in mind, we're just going to dive straight into it. So the party have currently found themselves in the main capital of the Ebeth dynasty known as Bellavia. Here, they have spent some time trying to uncover why they were actually brought here in the first place. A message was given to each one of them, and they'd followed the message to a place called the Broken Spoke Inn, where there they had found helpers of this mysterious individual who had brought them all to this destination. They had met this mysterious figure known as Aiden Hassar and were informed of his grand scheme, which is to do some good in this world, to remove a severe entity, this dangerous creature known as demons. There are several demons that he seems to have a very clear sight on that he wants to remove, and the party have been tasked with it, but the party have not accepted thus far. They have a few days to process and see if they wish to take on this challenge. And in the meantime, they head to a local event that is taking place. Not something that's typical here in Bellavia, something that stands out quite different to the general traditional surroundings. There is a Comic-Con here. There is an event taking place where there is historians and storytellers that are brought all into one place, dressing up in different attires from kings, queens, rulers, villains, heroes, everything in between, here to celebrate the history and story of Kurthaek thus far. And the party are here to kind of indulge themselves, to see what is going on. While they're here, they do plan to seek out some specialists in certain fields. Because this is a place of stories and historians, there is some actual reason for them to be here, to find clues to help them on their journey forward. Some people try and sow the seeds and grow their names, whilst others try to find a path forward in their journey. But this is where we currently are, and we're just going to dive into it. So you find yourselves, it's about quite early in the morning. It's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, just kind of in that middle point. It's not morning, it's not afternoon. Everyone's still kind of a bit groggy waking up, but this large event is buzzing. People walking back and forth in all sorts of costumes, either too large for themselves or too small. Some very well made, others, they're dressed. But you each have kind of spread out to find your own sort of venture in these halls. And there are several halls here holding different sorts of events. There are speakers hosting these kind of TED Talks, if you will. There are some people who are just kind of showing off their skills and talents. And some are here just to do press and kind of release their new book and new business ventures, so on and so forth. But for now, we're going to focus on, let's say, Cal. Cal, you have been looking around some of the story areas, some of the different halls here with an emphasis on tales and mystery. And something that's caught your eye, because there was kind of whispers of it before, is a fortune teller of sorts. You followed the whispers here after kind of leaving the crackpot theorists who are kind of still kind of whispering to you, hey man, come over here, you want to know the story? And they're just kind of there, but you're blocking it out. And you see before you, in this massive hall, which has been kind of decorated in very beautiful stonework, something that kind of has some tangibility to it, but also is based in illusion as well, to give it a bit more of a grander appearance. You have this small looking tent, a very traditional kind of carnival tent, if you will. Think back to when you see the kind of fortune tellers, the kind of gypsies on the road, a tent in that style, draped over in kind of purples and silvers. and there is kind of beads at the front for kind of the entranceway. You don't see anyone kind of entering or leaving at the moment. It seems to be fairly empty, but you can see kind of a sign next to it that says "Fortunes to be told."
Yeah, he goes inside. Immediately just like, hello. May I come in? I'm already inside, so if you say no, now that would be awkward.
You push through the beads, and as soon as you enter, there is a heavy waft of this kind of stale, very cinnamony, musky scent that's in this room, and you almost hit by this like a haze of incense that is just kind of burning and has created this mist inside the room, making it hard to see the interior. You speak out, and all you can see through here is small little candle lights in this fog, this mist of incense. The incense you can see burning in the corners, creating the light in this room. And you can see the silhouette of someone sat behind the table. Round table in front of you, small chair. You speak out to them, and you see a hand kind of raise upwards. You can see this very long finger kind of gesturing down to the chair in front. Oh, please, if you could join me.
I would love to. Hello.
Hello. What is your name?
My name's Cal. What's your name?
Well, you may call me Madame.
She gives a kind of a half bow. You can see in the silhouette, she seems to have like long dreads of hair that go past the shoulders. Her hand kind of reaching outwards. You can see there's a crystal ball in between you and her as she's kind of looking forward. You take a seat opposite her, and as you kind of sit in the chair, you almost find it kind of smaller than the table. It's kind of like a stool, and as you sit down, the table's kind of like at your neck level almost. And you're kind of like having to like lean over and look forward slightly. This hunched figure continues to look down and to you.
So, Cal, what can I be of service for?
Well, it said that you... Sorry, this is a bit awkward to talk like this. It says that you tell fortunes. Do you only tell fortune of like the people that's sitting right in front of you, or can you also do like remote fortune telling?
Ah, so you wish to pry on others far away?
No, I wouldn't call it prying. I would more call it figuring out their odds.
I can see what I can do, but I'd need to read your palm first.
You see the hands kind of eke outwards, each finger. As they kind of unfurl, you hear one of them just go, it's like snap forward and just kind of lock in place. You hear her just kind of like hum to herself as that happens.
Give me your hand, Cal.
Right. Just before I do that, does this involve payment?
Oh no, my services here are free.
Oh, that is so nice of you. And he puts his hand in hers.
As you put the hand on, she then says,
but there may be a catch.
And as you hold your hand there in her palm, her other finger kind of comes over from her left hand, and she begins to go up and down your hand.
Oh, a man well-traveled, I see. You've been to many different places.
Mm-hmm.
And you aren't home at the moment. Still finding your way. How fascinating.
That's true.
And tell me, Cal, where do you see your journey going?
She continues to go up and down several lines and grooves in your hand, and she just continues to ask you these questions.
I don't think I'm allowed to tell you that. Also, I don't really know. It was all very mysterious. But
Yes.
I don't think I'm very much allowed to speak about it, so sorry. I can't answer that. Ask me something else.
Oh, no, I can see exactly what you're talking about. The mysterious benefactor. Ooh,
Yes!
very mysterious. What do you think he is?
I have no idea. Like, it kind of looks like those thingies you put on top of temples, like the winged claws out thingies. They look very scary. He looked kind of scary too. He might be one of those, but they don't typically move.
No, well, you'll be very surprised at what things lie in the shadows. As she continues to read your palm, she kind of stops at a moment. I see. A part of your life that will change. You see this line in your hand? And she points
Yes.
to an area where it kind of begins to deviate. There are two choices that will lead ahead of you. You see, if you were to take the right lane, it will come down to your wrist. And on your wrist, there's a line that goes across, and that is death. Not good. No, no, no. But the other line, and she begins to follow, and it goes around and around and around your hand. It's a never-ending spiral, a journey that continues with no end. How delightful.
Wait. No end, like never an end? That kind of sounds horrible.
It continues and continues and rejoins the path again. Oh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. This line, though, that ends with a swift end, very sad.
Oh,
I see a beautiful painting. Something beyond recognition. Do you wish to know more?
well, I was originally here to ask about someone else, but now you've made me really curious. So yes, please tell me more.
This line, the dead end, as it is known, is filled with roses.
Oh!
Beautiful, red, vibrant roses. They're almost too vibrant, if you ask me. But so much love. A little too much love.
Oh.
But never mind. If your heart is filled with love, then surely that means it's a good end.
Right. That was
She-
extremely ominous. I appreciate it. Thank you. Madame.
She kind of takes your hand and tosses it to the side.
Okay.
Now,
She kind
Yes.
of puts her fingers together, they click all in unison, and she begins to lean against the table and look towards you.
now, do you wish to know about your brother?
Oh, it's amazing that you already knew that. Yes.
He's like a fortune teller.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm gonna tell everyone else about this. This is amazing. They should all go try this.
Well, where shall we begin? The young prodigy, your brother, is doing so well. He's building a business from the ground up. Really making moves. Making moves almost everywhere. Maybe a little too much.
Oh.
Let me show you.
And you see the hands begin to wrap around the crystal orb in front. And you see the mist and the incense that had almost been around you this entire time begins to find its way into the orb itself, swirling inside. And you just watch as the mist creates this picture, people made of this same mist, but fully formed in kind of imagery as they move back and forth. You see silhouette of a man who's very similar to that of your brother. You can see him standing there and talking with several individuals in the background who kind of loom over and look down at him. You see, she kind of looks around. When you begin to delve into politics, you start to reach and find yourself slightly desperate, looking for help in the wrong places. You see that in this image, he kind of begins to shake their hand. Each one of them, they begin to laugh with glee as you see his head kind of pointed downwards as he's shaking each one of them. Sometimes, when you're in his field of work, you have to do a deal with the devil.
Right, how many figures are there? Can Cal, like, roughly
Roll a perception check.
No, found it. I just found to keep closing my character sheet. That's so stupid. Right.
Even with a
Oh, damn!
disadvantage.
That's a 19. Who needs to? Who's poisoned? Not me. Okay.
You begin to count each one. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people. But around all of them, there's almost like a tether. Something pulling them to a singular point. But they all act as one, kind of laughing, chuckling, congratulating. Each one just beginning to kind of salute your brother as he makes this deal, it seems. But don't be afraid. This will mean that your brother excels in everything he does, just like he always has. And she kind of looks to you as the swirling pattern inside begins to change, and you see it now has 2 people. One who looks eerily similar to yourself, and one your brother, standing opposed on opposite sides. Now, as I was pointing to on your fate, guiding forward, you may find even your loved ones at crossroads. Are you ready to fight your brother? And you see as they both pull out swords, shing, they begin to fight. Back and forth, like a fencing competition.
I don't want to fight my brother though. Is that like set in stone future kind of, or is that like one of the options?
The future is dipped in mystery. No one can truly tell the future, but the
Right.
odds are very probable.
Oh,
And if you're having doubts, I don't think he is. And you watch back
Oh.
down at the crystal orb, and you see a blade plunged through your
Oh.
chest as your brother's silhouette stands on top of you. Bah.
oh, that's the person.
The hand goes over the orb, and then all of the mist disappears. You now see this woman kind of for who she is, kind of long fingers, slightly grey to the tip, pearl white skin going up, maybe in her 70s, 80s, sagged skin in areas, wearing a loose beige gown. You just see kind of like the hollow sunken eyes of somewhat human feminine figure as she looks towards you. But these are just my fault.
Oh. Right. Great. Thank you. You've given me much to think about. Great. So like the future that you just showed me, where Zarius kills me, is that the same one that has all the roses, or is that
I
Like-
never said that this was the end of you.
right?
That would be leaning too much into your final destination. No one should truly know how they will perspire and decease. That is too much to bear.
Mm.
And I don't want to frighten you. Why would I ever want to do that?
Yeah, and also why would Zarius ever try and kill me? Like that would be stupid. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm a
read into
mother.
it. It's just a fortune after all. Now, thank you very much, Cal, for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
It has, sort of. Yeah. Thank you. This was a learning experience. Thank you, madame. Lovely.
You're very
Like-
welcome.
Backs out of the tent,
Mhm.
slightly frightened looking, slightly.
You leave, and as you kind of push through the beads, you just hear her whisper into the air.
And it's Madame Lazille.
As you
Fox.
walk out, you kind of roll a religion check or history check.
Do it.
Hey,
Oh boy.
Madame Lazille, but
Knew
I-
it.
okay.
Well, it apparently did take.
I thought this campaign is after the first one, and not during.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, and then a lot of questions.
12. So many questions.
With a 12, you hear the whisper, and the first thought that comes to your mind is a figure in history who is very mischievous, conniving, and doesn't do anything for free. And as you walk out of there and have that kind of cold lick up the side of your back, as like your spine begins to tingle, you turn around and the tent is no longer there. As the tent disappears, you see one of the crackpot theorists look towards you.
See, man, I'm telling you, things disappear.
As you're just kind of like standing there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's Cal. We'll then move on to. Let's do Helen. Helen, you're currently walking through, beginning to regale stories. You tell me of your troop.
So she's kind of telling two different tales. She's doing the real truth about kind of this new figure in the Feywild, the real truth, and then kind of spreading the story about a group of intrepid adventurers, and how they're putting down demon cults and restoring and rescuing lost people and from the Howling Mountains, and doing great traversals and doing good deeds for the common folk and the guards, but they're not too goody two shoes with just spreading she does a gauge of every group she talks to and then edits it slightly in whatever way she thinks would be most effective.
Yeah.
And she doesn't outright lie about anything they've done. She's telling the truth. She's just telling a very dramatic version of the truth.
Okay, for this, since you're kind of going around, and these people are very malleable, they are taking in anything that's coming their way.
Yeah,
So
and
I'd like-
she's cosplaying one of these heroes,
Yeah.
That's the outfit she's wearing.
That's the power play. Then I'd like you to roll 3 rolls for me. These 3 rolls are going to be at advantage, and I'd like you first to roll a performance, then a persuasion, and a deception. This will encompass the entire story that you're trying to tell,
Okay.
and we'll see if it goes off without a hitch.
So you
performance
said
at advantage.
performance.
Okay, then persuasion at advantage. Okay, and then deception
That's-
at advantage as
that's-
well.
How? That's really bad for me, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So-
lying really well.
Yeah. So you're filling in the gaps nicely. So you're kind of catering for your audience, right? You're finding like the hardcore nerds like, oh my god, you're telling me that they went to the Howling Mountains, and you're just like, yeah, actually they have, and they've bossed it. Like, and then in this lie, you're like, they killed a Yeti that was like really massive. You're just adding in bits to buff your story, and you see they're like eating up. Each one of them like, oh my god, I can't believe it. This is amazing. What's this troop's called? What's its name? This is your time to shine.
We do need a name. Does anyone have requests?
Don't do what I did, and don't pick a funny name, because that's what I did last time. Don't do it.
We should have thought about this between sessions, but we didn't.
We should have.
Throwing you straight in the deep end. This is going to be
Oh.
canon, so you better make it good.
This is
Wait,
gonna be canon.
why is this on me?
It's gonna be Helen and Friends.
I really am.
Honestly, if you do Helen and Friends, that would be hilarious. So. She's so looking up good group names.
I'm trying.
The Fellowship of the Ring. No, wait, I can't do that one.
I think
We
there's
could all-
some.
We could always take
Who's
the
the ring?
Destined Few.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pressure.
The
I kind
pressure's
of like.
real.
I kind of like just sitting on this and seeing what Brooke comes up with.
I don't have good ideas. You know, I'm really
That's
creative
okay.
until
it
it's
can
like.
be a bad
complicated.
idea.
No,
Do
but these
you
have
want to
be
know what
good
our
ones.
group was called before we changed it to something better?
Oh, please tell me.
At least it was
It
not.
was called the Lovely Virgins.
It was not for long, at least, because we got
I
done
know.
really.
But it's stuck.
Priceless.
It's stuck. It's stuck with so many people because Max
Yeah.
kept being like, "Oh yeah, you guys were the Lovely Virgins." After we changed the name, so you know.
Because Max likes the
Also,
peace.
NPCs kept misremembering it. They insisted it was Lonely Virgins, and I was like, "No, no, it used to be Lovely."
Makes more sense to me.
Oh, damn.
And thank God we just we like later decided to change it because it's the joke was
After like 100 sessions, yeah, finally.
And
Not
also
100, come
because
on, it
it's
was
not being true.
5 or at max 10.
Mm.
Oh,
Because it
boy.
was like funny joke when it like was
It was very
first
funny.
few times, but then yeah,
Oh.
got. And come on,
So yeah,
guys,
the bar is really low. So
you can't save the world with
Doesn't
that
make
group
me
name.
feel-
Come on,
Yes, you
yeah,
can.
we changed it to Chaos Shifters.
yeah, that's more like
Way more edgy.
Hmm.
But then our guild ended up being called the Cherry Picked Heroes, which like it's a nice balance, you know.
I'm trying to figure out
So
like some kind of, I don't know. I feel like a lot of us are kind of funky and like
That's a
touched
good start.
by weird magic in some kind of way. So I'm like trying to find something.
Ah.
Ask ChatGPT.
Don't ask ChatGPT.
I'm not gonna
Somehow I
ask
felt offended by
ChatGPT.
this funky magic.
Oh, come on.
My magic is
Just put-
pure and,
Mm,
and ancient.
that's the guy
not
that
fun-
trapped
funky.
an old soul in a goose.
We're just a bunch of
No,
fucking
not a
weirdos.
goose. It was a pelican. Wait,
Goose.
ChatGPT.
it was a toucan. In a toucan.
I didn't trap any soul. No.
Sure.
Just your character's perspective.
Sounds like something is
No,
so
no, my
trapped.
character thought that was so cool. My character thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and then took a flight with some flying rock.
Yes. I mean, honestly, Brooke, you're welcome to go with the name of the campaign. Threads of Chaos works. You know, we are very chaotic.
Yeah.
And there's a double meaning of threat. Which I also like.
I don't know. I can't come up with anything good. I'm fielding suggestions officially.
Does
Let the
anyone have a suggestion?
NPCs make suggestions.
Yeah.
Like actually,
Um,
the group isn't named yet.
So, are you telling me that there's
Ah,
no
yes,
name for this
have
group?
that.
No. She doesn't say anything about that to people. So we've got
Actually, we got
Feywild
suggestion.
times 2, whatever Cal's got going on there, which can't be good for them. Does anyone else have other like?
Yeah, we
If you had to describe your character with one word, what would it be?
We have an
Chaos.
idea, like from our viewer, like most like dedicated viewer on YouTube, so you
We
might
do.
want to check it out. I like the Untouched Avengers.
Untouched. That's just Lovely Virgins again. What are you doing, dude?
Also, this time around, there's no way it's accurate. You cannot convince me that Helen hasn't. You cannot. And
Helen
Cal,
at least can
Yo,
avenge
chill.
something. But yeah, others.
I am chilling. Okay, got it. Also, what are we avenging? What are we avenging?
Yeah.
Be touched.
Your mom.
My mom is healthy and safe. Okay, we don't have to avenge my mom.
Okay,
Helen's mom.
let's face it. This is Max DMing. She's healthy.
Oh,
Healthy.
true.
Not for long. Come on, it's Max's campaign, so you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot to write about
True.
Cal's mum. What-
Leave my mom alone.
Like,
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
come on, a few minutes ago he just like showed how Cal fights his brother and brothers wins and kills him. So are you really
it's
sure
just
that?
pure.
Yeah.
It's pure Revenge of the Sith. That's
Yeah.
literally just.
Are
You're my
you truly-
brother. I know, but I don't care.
Are you truly sure that the Cal's mother then is
Well.
alive and well? I wouldn't be so certain.
Well.
Well, how sure are we that she's his mother?
Wow. True.
It's-
My characters don't have the greatest track record of actually being their parents' children. Max. Anyway.
Yeah, actually,
Well,
What
to be
a
fair-
way to phrase that. That was great. Not their mother's children.
To be fair, I kind of did a half offense there.
and interesting how like those
Oh, yeah,
very words.
I got my character. Okay, so what do all of the characters have in common? Adventurers.
We're gingers. Some of us.
There's like 3 gingers.
Not all of us.
2 failed wild. Fair wild.
I
Ginger and Wild. It's like the Spice Girls. That's what you
Okay.
guys are. There's Ginger Spice.
Okay,
there's
so,
Ginger Spice.
we-
and Ginger Spice.
Right.
So we have to color Orin and Axon's hair, and then we can be Vigentified or something.
I'm not
Used to
coloring
say-
or dyeing my hair.
But it would be so easy. You have white hair. Do you know how easy it is to dye white hair?
Do you know
Used to
how
say
hard
that
it
accent
is?
isn't dying it.
Yeah, to dye a long and like wavy hair.
Yes, I
Probably
do.
never done this.
Yes,
Yeah. Like really long.
did you seriously just? Yes, of course I have.
Oh,
Do you know how long my hair was when I was a teenager? Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Moving on. We need a name
You're
for
still
this
a
group.
teenager.
I
I
am,
have an
but I'm
urge to
21.
name us something related to like fae/fairies, but that's not everyone. So
That's
like,
just
I
you.
don't know. No, we've got another Feywild member.
Oh,
But,
true.
yeah,
I
this is
forgot
why
that
I'm
It's
actually
feeling
Kel.
was.
so-
Yeah,
That's
it's actually Kel. Yeah, what do you mean? Actually.
I mean, the fact that I can't deny that is I don't know. So
Like
I'm
you literally have a dragon like from Feywild or something like.
No, we don't know that.
It sounded like it was from Feywild at least.
It yeah, kind of.
So, Brooke, what are you going to go for?
I
Not
don't
sure.
know. I genuinely don't know, and I don't want to drag this out, but I genuinely have like no ideas.
Okay. Well, I'll let you think about it, and you
Mhm.
can come back to me with it. You explain away. You give them a name. You don't give them a name, but they buy into it nonetheless with the details that you give. Through this kind of conversation, you kind of like going back and forth through the halls. You kind of grown like a little crowd around you, kind of like, tell us more, tell us more. I really want to know. Oh, come on, tell me. You see like some of them are on their floor, like on their knees. And you just see one guy next to him in a very kind of like painterly outfit. Almost like he himself is made out of like acrylic or so. It's like really well made costume. He looks to have kind of like curly ginger hair. This is very coincidental that we were talking about gingers a minute ago, and now there's another ginger. But he kind of walks up, and he has this kind of like wide grin to himself, and he leans over. Huh. So you've gone through the Howling Mountains, then? Is that right?
She'd basically start going with the like, not me, but like, just basically continues to tell the stories, like ignores the like, that was you, right? And I was just
yeah.
just continues, like doesn't say anything.
And how is it you know so much about these guys, then, if you're not one of them? Do they have a promotional guy, or...
I heard there's a scribe with them. I didn't meet him, but apparently there's a guy writing a book. I ran into some of them at and she'd give the name of the town where we did stop for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of it, but Helen remembers because we were just there.
Yeah. The Shard of Glass.
Yeah.
I think she means the other one.
The one where we
Met Tuco.
No,
the one with
one.
the one with the
Devil.
sleepless guys and the Infinity Lake.
And
Yes.
Spirals, which is kind of
Yes.
our
Yes.
campaign.
I love
theme
that
right now.
none of us remember the name. Not a single
I'm
one of
taking
us.
us to the map now.
All 5 of us are just sitting here like,
my notes
Yeah,
as well.
Larry.
I
This
have
one, I think, yeah.
I have like notes about the ship and stuff, but I just don't have anything
yeah,
about
same.
what the actual
worries.
I
town
think
is
it's
called.
Laren, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. As you kind of bring it up, you see he kind of crosses his legs and does a slight twirl.
Laren, you say? Okay. And what is this scribe's name? Just so I can try and pinch his ear for more information.
Can I get a gauge on this dude? Like,
You can
is
roll an
he,
insight check.
genuinely interested, or is he trying to be like an asshole about this?
Roll an insight check. Okay. As you're kind of like examining his body posture, again, his outfit is exceptionally well made, like he's come out of a painting. You see he's not wearing any shoes, just a couple of bandages around his feet, and they kind of wrap up as well. They're kind of like a blue sort of tape that kind of wrap up around his legs, some around his arms. And you can see as well that smile never seems to leave. It's like almost stitched up, and you can see that where there's kind of like cracks in the skin, he's got bits of that same kind of blue tape going over them. He looks towards you, and you can get the sense that he's quite he's very interested, definitely, and he's kind of like a bit away with the fairies is probably the easiest way to describe it, because he gives off this very playful sort of aura to him, but he's very curious. And when he says what he's saying, pinches ear, try and find more information, there is this almost inquisitiveness that's someone who's trying to find more information. He seems to have a very keen interest in what's going on.
She'd kind of look towards him, and I'm trying to find what it's called, and if he I don't think he actually has to like want to talk back to me, but would like turn back to the crowd and just start telling a story, and basically just out of the corner of her eye turn to the guy and say, do hang around later and I'll tell you all kinds of stories, and just kind of like wink a little bit and then just go back to like chatting to the crowd.
As you kind of delve into his mind and have that kind of link for a moment, you find almost like grabbing onto loose threads of consciousness, like holding on, like almost you have wet hands and you're grabbing onto paper and it's just dissolving in your hands as you begin to like speak towards it. You're having to like constantly, your voice is just turning into an echo, and you have to keep relinking to try and establish the connection. But it goes through, and you see he kind of looks to you, the same kind of grin across his face. He gives a very deep bow, one which you recognize as being from kind of a Feywild noble sort of background. You see that there's some sort of connection that he maybe understands that you're portraying someone from that region. And he just kind of gives that bow. Well, then I might see you later then. And he gives a spin, and he begins to walk off through the crowd. There is one kind of guy still on his knees, kind of like, please tell me more. And he just kind of pushes him to the side and continues walking and begins to dance through the crowd. As they're like, who the fuck is that guy? But yeah, you say that to him, and you continue sowing the seeds here and there. But as that's kind of going on, we'll focus on someone else momentarily. So let's go with Axon. Axon, you are currently heading to some panels with Pineapple. You were first going to go to Gorum Mesk, who is some sort of potions expert, dealing with tinkering and different kind of ailments that help with alleviating curses, items, and that sort of thing. As you begin to enter, you see there's a guy at the front who kind of like stops you for a moment. Excuse me, sir. No animals allowed.
He is not an animal. He is a person who is cosplaying like a very famous ancient druid.
Famous ancient druid, eh? Which one?
Well, I mean, don't you know, like the one special guy?
Roll a deception check.
Well, I can say, of course, one name, but come on.
Oh, that was so bad. That was the worst line ever.
Fucking
yeah.
hell,
Don't you know, like Bjorn?
You
Deception
see kind of
wasn't-
like, yeah, he crosses his arms and begins to look closer. Druid, eh?
Yeah.
He looks over, stands in front of the horse. If you're a druid, sit down. You see the horse just kind of look towards you.
I just wink
Then
and
look
say,
towards the guy.
or like whisper, like, yeah, or like just show, like, try to hide this, like, yeah, come on, just do what he wants.
The horse rolls his eyes, and you see he just sits on his ass, and you see his legs in front kind of go over slightly into this like half cross, and he raises an eyebrow as he looks towards this guard. The guard looks forward. Oh, I guess he is. Sorry, by all means, head inside. Enjoy the show.
You need to be sorry, not for me, like, or need to say sorry not to me, but to the guy.
Hey, see what I did there? I'm sorry. You've got a really realistic cosplay going on. You see the horse just looks to him and just gives that white guy smile and just continues forward. Oof. As you enter, there is a plethora of people. It's several rows seating, leading up to a large stage, which looks down very kind of typical to what you see in Comic-Con when someone's doing a panel there. There's about a stand with a couple of seats there, but this one has just one seat. And you can see that there's a couple of seats behind in different areas, kind of located, and the spotlight is shining on one particular space. As you enter, you can see that the conversation is currently already taking place. The meeting is already out 3/4 of the way through. But as you arrive, you find a seat and begin to take it all in. The pineapple just continues to clop through. You can see as he is clopping through and making quite a bit of sound, you do see kind of presenting this show is a very heavily bearded dwarf. Wearing this kind of heavy braid that goes onto it, clasped with several metal bindings. It goes into almost like three beards, three subsections of beard. His hair is kind of long, flowing up top, and he's probably in his 60s or so. This is the man in question. This is the person who's kind of hosting this event. And you can see he's wearing nothing too elaborate, nothing too outstanding. He's wearing pretty much simple clothes. Something very standard, just commoner's clothes. As he sat there on a chair, just looking around, his conversation continued. And as he kind of stops for a moment, hearing the clops of the horse, you see he just kind of begins to look at you with pineapple for a moment. It's okay. We can wait until you're seated. Continue. Everyone in the crowd kind of turns to you as you've kind of arrived, just clocking around.
Sorry we are late. I look around. Is there any free like seats?
You look around. There doesn't seem to be any seats available. He kind of looks around and goes, "Oh, it doesn't look like there's many seats here. Don't worry, you want to be here for the show, come round. You can join me on stage. Hopefully there's no stage fright. Please."
Are you sure?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Come on. We're just having a nice conversation here.
Enjoy, show him. Yeah, you lead the way then.
Pineapple spits on the floor, and he kind of looks to you with this scowl. Do you still have the kind of communication up?
I hope so, yeah, because it's like a ritual and lasts quite a long time.
Yeah, if it's a long time, then yeah, you can still understand him. He just looks to you. I didn't really want to be in his aura, but if we must, I guess we'll try and blend in.
Yeah, I mean, let's try to blend in at least. You know, we can always leave if it's bored. So.
Okay. Clop, 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 clop just continues to clop their way onto the stage. So the dwarf just kind of waits until you're sat down. Eventually, you find your seat on the stage. A sea of people kind of looking up in your direction as you have now joined him on stage, a little bit away, as you're sat on a small chair just outside of the spotlight. But he continues. So, as I was saying, when it comes to these sorts of alchemicals, there's a process involved. Sometimes you can imbue magic into it. Sometimes you can just use the natural elements that come around you. There's plenty of them. There's stoneheart, there's metal bindings, there's all sorts of things that can help you. But for certain curses, especially when it comes to weaponry, there's a long history of that, and curses aren't the easiest thing to remove. You'll see in dungeons and places long forgotten that there is wicked traps placed in and left there for plunderers to find a wicked end. Not many people like their things being stolen, so they imbue a curse into them. Won't affect everyone, just a certain few. And if you can find the telltale signs of a curse, then you're all fine, you can avoid it. But if you don't know the subtleties, the small imperfections that lie with it, then you'll be finding some trouble. Now, to give a demonstration, does anyone here have a curse that they're lifted? You see, he begins to kind of look around the crowd. A couple of hands begin to kind of raise up. Now, by curse, I mean actual magical curse. I'm not a doctor, so if you have anything wrong, please go to your local GP. That's not for me to deal with. You see 90% of the hands go down. You have your hand up?
Yeah. I don't know if we are sitting behind him or in front of him.
You're by the side. You're kind of in his periphery vision.
Yeah,
as he kind of begins to stand up and look around. All right, well, let's see. If you, sir, can come up here. It looks like our friend on stage also has something affecting him. Oh, please join as well.
Not me, but my friend here. He has some curses.
The horse?
Yeah, he actually is like a druid who is, turned into a horse and cannot turn back.
Okay. Again, this sounds a bit like a performance issue, so if you want to see your local physician, perhaps that'll be easier.
I don't think the physician will help us, and I'm quite certain that it is a quite powerful curse, actually.
Okay, well, let's. This will be a first for me. I don't really deal in these sorts of curses, so if you could please bring them to the spotlight.
Yeah, well, went to Pineapple. Yeah.
Pineapple just begins to say, "This guy is a charlatan. Why should I be paraded in front of all of these people for him to just lie through his teeth?"
Well, it's the best way to, show everyone that he is lying, right? If he will fail with you, then it's quite obvious that it's not working and he is not the one who can remove the curses, right?
You see Pineapple's front lips begin to kind of flap open. His teeth, you can see them grinding. That would be quite an excellent watch to see the fool fall on his own sword. All
Just
right.
imagine you will have the best seats in this performance.
Yes, you're right. He stands up and he begins to clop over forward. All right, let's see what's wrong with your friend here. Before I start doing my process, is there a name for him? Him? Is there a name for him?
I just call him Pineapple, but I think you can. Yeah.
You hear a couple of chuckles in the crowd. You hear someone say, "Oh, that's cute."
He probably has another name, but he cannot talk, as you can see in his current condition. So, if you could remove it and turn him back into a human, I think you could tell us his true and real name.
All right, well, let's see what I can find here then. It might take me a few seconds. And you see he begins to reach out to a side satchel built into his armor. It's kind of etched in. It's like a pouch that opens up. His hand just goes in, and you see him kind of like wriggle around a little bit. And he begins to pull out a couple of tools by his side. Some very well crafted crafting tools that seem to be used for some sort of either magic, or you've seen kind of Ulrin use similar items for his own spellcraft. He begins to use these in tandem, and as he kind of waves them over the horse in several areas, you see he just begins to kind of speak out loud. Okay, well, I'm sensing a lot of different energies from your horse. Subtle they may be, but they're present. It seems that there's some sort of tether tied to him. So, hypothesis on it being a curse is true, but it seems to have an origin, perhaps a person in particular. Someone has affected this person. This wasn't done by his own means, it seems.
Well, obviously, yeah, I don't think that he would be willing to stay forever in this form. Though it's quite
True.
majestic, but not many people would live for their life as horse and enjoy it.
That's right. Okay. Could you please ask Pineapple to open his mouth?
He can actually understand you, so look at Pineapple. Could you please open your mouth, and don't bite him or his tools?
Very tempting. And you see he opens his mouth. All right, let's see what we have here. Now, it seems healthy, but there's something I can't quite get my hand around. Something lodged inside. What is that? He begins to... Do you mind if I just put my hand down his throat?
You know that you might get bitten if you do that.
I can tranquilize him if that makes things easier.
No, but I would rather... I don't know, do you have any potion which might alleviate the effects, or...
Oh, definitely. I've got a few. But he's happy for me to go down. Not many people like that.
Yeah, but we need to first then ask for his consent, don't you think?
Pineapple gives a side glance to you. What is going on? Why is he trying to get in my mouth? I told you this is a farce.
I think he is trying to get something out of your mouth. That there's something stuck inside. Maybe that's the source of the curse? Do you think any foreign objects stuck in somewhere in your throat, or
I'm
around
a
that area?
horse. I eat all sorts of things. Everything is lodged in there.
Yeah, but any foreign objects which kinda cause you a discomfort of any sort?
That I'm aware of. He can look. He can put his hand down my throat. Whatever. Just make it quick. And
Yeah,
yes, administer whatever is needed.
He gave his consent, so you can do whatever you want, he said.
All right.
Be quick.
Pulls out the stopper. No worry, I will be. Just begins to pour this potion into the horse's mouth. You see as the horse now kind of freezes up in place. Mixed inside is a little bit of paralysis, but don't worry, it'll be fine afterwards. He just begins to shove his hand down the throat. As he goes wrist deep and then elbow deep, you see he's kind of leaning down and in. Okay, no, that's fleshy. That's fleshy. And then he holds onto something. Aha. That's not supposed to be there. Okay.
Sure.
Um,
Do you have a medical education at least?
Somewhat. Again, people tell me about their curses and curses, say loosely. But I've dissected a few things over my years and to try and find out curses. House of Mortem are very obliged by me coming by and investigating some things. But yeah, in here, I can't really pull it out because that'll mean I need to dissect the fellow. But he's got something inside of him. It's like a metal, something hard, hardened surface. Now, I could feel some sort of etching on it. It's like something's been maybe forced down him and stuck inside. I don't want to remove it by hand, it might be too dangerous, but whatever's going on here is linked to something else beyond. Now, the runic symbol I could feel inside resembled something to do with the Shadowfell. Something sinister, dark, lays in shadow. I could feel something reminiscent to the Shadowkeep's hand. Something that borders between the Fey Realm and the Shadowfell. Something in between. You can roll a history check if you want.
Yeah. Between Shadowfell and Feywild, but yeah. 9.
I'll give you advantage because you're from there. That makes sense.
Partly from there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 20. Yeah, it helped.
The reason I say you have advantage is because this thing is seen everywhere over the Fey Realm. There is a place located. Now, the Fey Realm is fucking nuts. There's all sorts of random weird stuff that's happening there. And the topography and land shifts as well. But there's one thing that always stays fixed in place. Towards the very eastern side of the Fey Realm, before the seas kind of go out in a never-ending spiral, you see there is a land of sand that is almost dripping constantly, like almost like an egg timer, like one of those hourglasses where there is a bead of sand that's dripping down and creating this mountain of sand, which acts as like a river of sorts. It's constantly flowing. It is like a never-ending flow of a quicksand. It's constantly flowing, and no one ever goes there because it's too dangerous. But where those beads begin, there is nothing encasing it. There's nothing around it. It is just dripping from the ether. But right above that space, there is this looming dark shadow, which resembles a hand that reaches out through space itself, like a dark shadow that appears through the very speck of reality and expands itself, fingers reaching out wide and tall. And it almost resembles this kind of like mountain region. It's known as the Shadowkeep's hand. And there are creatures that are held and call this place home, but only the most dastardly of Feywild creatures. And the rumors are that this space, wherever this cave of a hand seems to delve into, arrives and finds a tether point to the Shadowfell. And this is where creatures seem to hang and border between the two realms. It is known for having very sinister, chaotic energies that hold there, twisted and try and do anything they can to benefit themselves. No one goes within the region. And it's quite far away from your homeland, but you can see that shadow looms ever present, and everyone kind of knows it. But to what detail is kind of iffy. But you know it. And you know that there are people in there, like hags, but not hags. They are something between a hag and something that originates from the Shadowfell. An archfey, but dipped with a Shadowfell entity mixed in one, and just call this place home. The Shadowkeep is almost referenced as like a person. There's like some almost name that holds notoriety that has been lost to history. But You kind of know that rough idea, and the idea that this is a place where curses are held is probable. You see, he continues, well, that's pretty much all I can say. Again, as I was talking about with everyone else here, curses is a difficult thing to remove. You need to know the origin point, and you need to try and fix the situation from that origin point. If you try and delve into this magic now, I can already sense this is quite powerful since it was so subtle. It was hidden in there. Usually when someone is just placing a mundane curse, it's quite notable because they lack focus. They lack the ability to hide it. This is something that is quite powerful and has locked this gentleman away in the body of a horse, out of all things. But I don't really know what else to tell you. If you want to try and remove the curse now, it can be quite dangerous, but it's possible. It might mean that your friend dies, loses their soul, or the binding curse that keeps itself there is tugged and pulled tighter. And sometimes the person trying to remove the curse may be affected by this person as well.
Okay. And is there any safe way of removing the curse without endangering the life of the person who is removing and the person who is affected?
Seeing that this is Fey in origin, Fey can be bargained with. If you can try and convince the person that established the curse, they can remove it with a click of their fingers. So there's that. That's the easiest, safest way, as long as they're cooperable. If they aren't cooperative, then you're kind of screwed.
Well, I mean, if they are not cooperative, then there is no way of removing it at all, without endangering.
There is another way. You can see he kind of looks around at the rest of the group. Can we have a conversation afterwards? Let me finish this sermon, and then we can talk about this in private. I don't want your personal business being spoken about to the lovely people here. So how about we discuss this in a bit?
All right. I mean, sure. But before we sure. Yeah, we can discuss it afterwards.
Okay. By the way, the horse is still going to be paralyzed for another hour anyway. So if you we'll just leave him here. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. I hope he will be fine and he won't bite you afterwards.
Oh, he won't notice a thing. The poison, paralysis that I gave him, it makes him unaware that this has happened. So don't worry. I use it all the time for self-medication and things.
All right, whatever you say. And then I will patiently wait for the end of this.
He then continues the sermon, and we'll just go over to someone else momentarily. Olrin, you have found yourself between several different areas to kind of investigate, to find more information. You currently find this Whisper Flame, this kind of person who has caught your eye in this moment. You can see that she's by herself. No one seems to be attending her stand, but she is open and she just kind of sat there and twiddling her thumbs a little bit. But you can see there's different kind of tools by her side. She seems to be a crafter of some note.
Yes, I would like to approach.
Okay. As you begin to approach, you see she kind of leans against her hand for a moment. If you're looking for one of the talks, they're in the hall down the lane. And you see she just kind of spins a coin on the table and just continues to sit there.
So it seems you are not presenting your craft.
Well, I'm you actually want to talk with me? Sorry, I thought you just were looking for like the restroom or something. Okay. Yes, I am, actually. That's why I'm here. Are you looking to learn a craft?
Well, I know some bits myself, courtesy of being a priest of Moradin. However, I'm rather interested in different methods and techniques.
Okay. What sort of techniques are you more proficient in? I can see that you have a lot of metal work, also enchantment work, which I can see. And she looks at your the relic that you have at your side, your holy symbol. I can see that that is quite powerfully enchanted. Is this something that you wish to pursue further?
Yes, I specialize in smithing and enchantments.
Well,
I do some level work on the side, though.
well, what I can teach is something that's quite universally used against all crafting methods. I've delved in different elements myself, but in terms of what I can provide to someone of your note is perhaps something of a different outlook. You see, as per the name suggests, I am of the Whisperflame clan. My family, my tribe, originates in Tunthir, and we have shown an interest in the spiritual guiding into certain items, crafts that we have made. This technique is known as the Blue Flame. It has been used in different areas as well. But you speak of Moradin. It is used by priests and gods alike. It is a very powerful enchantment that is not to be taken lightly. Is this something that you're willing to take on? Because this is a responsibility to carry.
It seems like a heavy responsibility, yes, but... Oh, I would love to learn. It's why I'm here.
Very well. She brings up a chair, and the two of you begin to sit at the back of her setup, her small little shack that she's got made up here. You can see behind the desk there's kind of a small array of tools and elements that are left there. If you could just roll a perception check for me,
Oh, God.
as you see some of the items that she has here. Okay. You see different enchantment-based reliquaries, almost like what you would use to enchant your metalworks, but you see for every certain item, but each one of them has this very faint rune that glows in the side of it, which glows a blue hue. This seems to be universal across all of the things that are enchanted by her. And the silhouette of this is almost like the outline of a very intricate looking flame of sorts that has somewhat of a body to it. You can't quite grasp your head into what the design is yet, but you take it in for a moment. And she just kind of looks to you, looks you up and down, and kind of admires your armor. Well crafted. Well, the Blue Flame is a very powerful enchantment that's a secret that we hold to ourselves, my tribe. But also we've seen it be used in other more religious areas. I myself am not a religious woman, but I have family members who have delved and aided in such. Moradin is not one of them, but we have focused our powers in Ioun, the knowing mistress, the goddess of knowledge. She has used our abilities to keep the secrets that must be kept a secret. Because there is much knowledge out there that needs protecting. Things need to be forgotten, but not forever. You'd be surprised by how many secrets are out there in the world. The Blue Flame allows for these secrets to be held under tighter lock and key. It is impervious to divination. It is not something that the gods have made themselves, but is of the land. It is primal in energy and comes from a power beyond. The origin of this blue flame derives from the land itself, but it also has an origin beyond the stars, a celestial, astral sense to it, which leaves it beyond the eyes of the gods and many others. A powerful tool to be used for sure, for good and bad. What do you seek to use your craft for?
Ultimately, a tool for betterment of daily lives, or perhaps the situation overall.
And is this something you wish to do with force? Or with another sort of hand?
Both ways have their place. Where talk is possible, it should be done. However, a personal story, on my way here I encountered a group of nodes. There was no talking to.
And thus action must be met. It is understandable, and it is good to hear that you start on a positive note. Not many do nowadays. It seems that actions speak louder than words, but I do not agree, although both are very necessary in this world. The blue flame can be used in all sorts of areas, and can help you in establishing order, or a little bit of chaos if you want it. There's no wrong way to use this. As long as you deem yourself righteous and you are doing a benefit for the people, then you are carrying a service that is a noble one. The blue flame, its origin is dipped in something beyond the physical. It is more of a spiritual energy that passes through into the item once you imbue it. She begins to teach you through this process, and I'd like you just to roll a wisdom check. So just your spellcasting ability to see how well you can follow the instructions.
Can I add divine
Yeah, of course you
thingy
can.
guidance?
Yeah. Okay. She begins to pull out this kind of rough piece of cloth. And as she hands it out to you, for a moment you find almost an impossibility to carve into this with your tools. But she just grabs the same utensils that you have, and she begins to follow a process of hitting the end of the kind of chisel with a hammer, and slowly begins to carve into this cloth, which shouldn't really hold in an enchantment. It's loose, it's the wrong tools, but as she goes through it, you will see that with the right practice, the tools at your disposal will be able to be used for any sort of enchantment, whether it is deemed appropriate or not. The blue flame, again, is something not physical, it is beyond. It is the intent, it is the pursuit of your soul adding into this enchantment. You must find that inner peace and guide your hand as though your soul itself is the one at the very tip of your tool, carving in this rune. As she continues to follow, you very eloquently follow the process that she is etching in. As she continues, she just begins to kind of talk over a little bit. My tribe has kept the secret of the blue flame long and alive for many, many eras. It has seen the beginning of life itself, and has shown a very potent tool against the creatures that tend to rise up and find their way to hurt humanity. The blue flame has been there since the beginning, and its fires will continue to burn. A never-ending flame that continues and continues even beyond us, and thus this enchantment will also carry on. An enchantment that is everlasting, timeless, and warm to the heart. You continue and continue. I'd like you as well just to roll a religion check as this is going on.
Vedas!
The 2 religion checks that you've rolled for this have been nat ones.
It had to happen once.
Exactly. Every session has to have a nat 1. Just for everyone at home, I did ask Arne to roll before this to see what his luck was like, and he rolled a nat 20. Poor guy.
Yes. That's all the luck I'm going to get today, so I'm left with the rest.
The nat ones. You just continue. You're too focused in kind of taking in the information rather than kind of building upon it. So you take everything she says with kind of full-heartedness, and you just continue to etch in. You begin to notice that as you carve in this rune, there's moments where you pull away and continue at different edges, following her procedure. As you do, you begin to see the pattern is forming. And the flame itself, this kind of body of the rune, begins to form, but the etching inside has a form to it, which has this person. There's something in it that you can actually relate to. And as you continue to go through, she just continues to deviate and talk. The powers that lie in the blue flame were an origin that were brought to us by another worldly being, something beyond astral space that came down and granted its fire to all. It is known as Versuli, the astral phoenix, a secret, again, that has been told and kept with our tribe and now is needed around the world to keep protection and guidance. Versuli has a history of tumultuous background. It has seen many enemies, it has seen many allies around it. Sometimes these allies have become enemies and these enemies allies. And some who praise Versuli have found themselves falling to the wayside and finding ill use of the blue flame. But that comes with all history. There are people that try to abuse what is given, and some that try to use it sparingly. I want you to use it as you see fit. Use it as much as you like. An abundance of the blue flame is never a wrong choice. It is just how it is used. Now, as the etching now comes to an end, and you've been hitting into this cloth without any real backing, you now see the rune itself finish, and you watch as where you began with the rune etching, a fine line of blue light just interconnects the entire image, and you see a warmth begin to glow from it, and the rune itself gives off this warmth, like a fire that burns. Nothing too overpowering, but something strong and reliable. As it does, you can see the outline of this image forms that of a bird, a phoenix in flame, a blue in color and hue. And you kind of pull it back and you feel the tension of this cloth, which was once rugged and almost unusable, now become flexible and fully malleable to the point where you could use this in any sorts of armor, clothing. And you see she continues. You spend some more time with her. Is there any questions that you have, Olren? Before I continue to just ramble
on. During the entire procedure, Oren would not completely deviate from the lesson, but start to integrate his own techniques into it to see what can be done with the blue flame. Making another circle around it, trying to compound the blue flame into like a type of energy font.
You begin to kind of go around and add your own flair to it. And as you do, you see she kind of looks back with... There's a moment where you think, oh no, am I overstepping? But you see that she has this kind of surprised expression. I've not seen anyone try and alter the blue flame to such a degree. Keep doing it. See what happens. You continue, and as you begin to almost harness the blue flame into a singular point, wrapping this binding around, you see the magnitude of the flame is almost pinpointed into a spotlight, and it shines across your face like a beam. And you feel the heat is almost more intense because of it, and you have to kind of pull away for a moment. Every etching, every enchantment has a bit of give, a bit of play. Powers revolve around everything. Although the blue flame does not hold any divine, holy magic, but one of primal, you of divine lineage can still meld it, because all magic intersects. That is the beauty of what we do here. Enchantment, craft, the power of creation is at your hands, and you can use the knowledge that I have given you, push forward, and to create your own beauty in it all. She kind of pulls away and allows you to keep going with your process. Time continues, and you spend probably about 2 hours with her, going over certain enchantments. But through this time, you learn the technique of the blue flame. And I will send you that now. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Any other discussions you wish to have? If not, we can go over to Marie.
No, I think we can go over.
Okay. Marie, what would you like to do? The entire group has pretty much separated, gone their own ways. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular?
Well, Tuco mentioned that there might be people who know about Musho, so I'm gonna try find something that I think looks eldritch.
Perfect.
Or like otherworldly.
Yeah, sure. You begin to go through some of the different halls to find something that's more suitable for your interests. As you go through one by one, you go through the kind of Hall of Remembrance. It seems to be history, nothing really there that kind of grasps your eye. You go through the Hall of Enlightenment, but that's mainly crafters and people trying to find their way. Instead, you go to the Hall of Legends, and you begin to find different, almost like storytellers, people, historians, but as well people here talking about their experiences. And as you go through, you hear someone begin to kind of ramble to themselves. Someone who doesn't seem to have a crowd around them. They are actually sitting by themselves away from the rest of these kind of shops, as you would call them, of lines of people waiting to get signs and autographs, whatever. You just see this man sat by himself on a stool, large quarterstaff in hand. He's kind of leaning towards it, probably in his 70s or so. But you can see his eyes are completely white over, and you just hear him kind of rambling on. Has anyone else seen the light that delves in the stars? A light that is hollow but full of life. Has anyone seen it? Can anyone? And as he's kind of speaking out, you clearly see that his vision is impaired. He seems to be blind by all means. His eyes completely white over. But then his expression kind of turns towards you. Have you seen the light?
The fuck? I look if there's someone behind me.
You look around and he goes, "No, you. Have you seen the light?"
What light?
The light that shines down from the stars.
You have seen the sun yet?
Not that light.
I'm
A light
sorry.
at night, a star that shines brighter than most. Something that fills your stomach with food and gifts plentiful. And something that is also hollow and devoid of heart. You've seen it.
What is it that I've seen? Well, I probably see more than you do. But what is it that I see?
You're very rude.
No, I don't think so.
Come here, child.
I step forward.
He kind of like leans forward and looks to you. You think I'm blind, do you?
How many fingers do I hold in front of you?
You see, he kind of waits for a second and he begins to think his question.
Well, first I need to know if you're human or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a total of 8 fingers possible. 3.
8 fingers? Sorry, how many fingers do you think I have?
Do you not have thumbs?
Well, I'd actually say there's like 10 is like, the max. But you said 8 was the max, and it's like confusing me a little bit.
Children.
You see, he kind of like waits in this solo for a moment. He rubs his brow.
You've been shown the light, no?
What kind of light?
Something that still holds inside you.
And you see, as he begins to speak, he wears this kind of large cloak that bellows over his shoulders. He's bald of head, wrinkled all over, but as he's hunched over, you can see like wriggling movements inside the cloak, kind of moving around. For a moment, you thought it was his hunched back, but it kind of like shifts around and kind of goes to his shoulder, makes it bulge and grow larger. Something seems to be scurrying underneath.
Something, a weight that you carry with you. A light that shines and can be portrayed in many different ways. Like this.
And you see he reaches out his hand, and you see a blinding white light begins to build up in his palm, and a beam of energy shoots out, and you just see it hit into some random guy in this kind of Comic-Con scenario. Guy goes flying about 20 feet back.
I think that's illegal.
Well, I think he deserved it. Did I hit something?
Yeah. Nope.
No.
It's just,
Everyone's kind of like looking around, trying to figure out where that came from. They look towards you. Boy, so you?
Nope.
Roll a persuasion check.
Maisley's
Wait,
out of
why can't I read? I can't read, that's why.
Okay. He begins to look around. All right. Was it you? Oh, sorry, Father. You see, he kind of like begins to talk to the old man, but realizes he's blind and he walks away. Couldn't have been him. He's blind. It continues to walk off.
So I did hit someone. Excellent.
Excellent. I actually think it's if he wouldn't have believed me, I could have been in trouble, and I would have had to do something, and I don't think that's legal either.
Well, your friend, and he gestures down to Mushu, he would have been able to help you, I'm sure. They are quite crafty, little dragons.
Well, I didn't want to kill him, just I actually don't know. Probably not gonna kill him. I don't think I want to murder someone right now.
Are you a murderer? Am I talking to someone who kills?
I've not killed anyone. No.
Ah, shame. I thought I was gonna have an interesting talk.
No, I prefer saving lives instead of killing. So it's like I feel like if I was gonna maim someone, it's just gonna like just be wasted because then I had to, save them again afterwards. Just a bad circle.
Yes, and we don't like circles. Triangles are the best shape.
Do you know what a triangle is? Or it's like
Yes, it goes like this.
sure.
You see he begins to, stop being so restless. He grabs his staff and he slams it on his shoulder. You see he hits the bulge in his shoulder and it begins to scurry out of his billowing sleeve. And you see this pseudo-dragon begin to wriggle out from his arm. And you see this long-bodied, very similar looking to Mushu pseudo-dragon, a small dragon, just appear by the side and land, hissing to the old man, "Oh, quiet you. You know what you are doing."
I don't think like playing Wag a Dragon is like something you should do with live things.
Well, do not do it with yours.
No?
Well, he quite likes it. Don't you, Marnie? You see the dragon kind of looks up and you see a flame spits out to him and he catches on the face. Flicks it to the ground. I deserve that. As this dragon now kind of locks eyes with Mushu, you see Mushu kind of hunch its back and kind of like look forward, slightly curious, slightly scared, as he kind of backs away behind your leg. There's no need to be afraid, you're all the same.
He's not afraid. I just think he's a little bit shy. I don't think he's ever met another dragon thing.
Well, they're called Star Children for one.
Star Children?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's what I call them. I've only ever met one other person that had a dragon like mine.
Am I the second then?
I know you're the first.
Oh, I'm very honored. I was about to be very sad that I was the second.
No, honestly, it's my pleasure to meet someone just like me. As he smiles, you see there's like no teeth in his mouth. There's like probably 3 left hanging there. As he smiles wide with a grin to you.
Just like you, but
yes.
What is just like you? How am I just like you?
It's like looking in a mirror.
I would actually argue that I'm much nicer looking.
Oh, well, I can't tell.
I pinky promise?
Okay, I take a pinky promise. They are very important. And he reaches out a finger to you.
I'll take the finger.
Okay, you lock it in. What is your name, by the way?
Macely.
Macely. Lovely name. You're not going to ask me what my name is?
I don't. Old. No. I just figured that when I shook your hand, you would tell me or let me know.
That's very presumptuous of you.
I think it's very fair.
Huh?
It's like etiquette. You know?
No, I don't.
You know,
I hate etiquette.
Oh, well, I did too. I did so too. It's just a bad habit, or it's actually a good habit. It's a habit, I guess.
Well, habits are good. They keep you in a routine, even the bad ones.
Okay.
So, Macely, when did you first see the light?
The light? Are you like? Is that what you like demonstrated me when you like shot someone? Is that the light?
Children.
I'm
All the
actually not a
same.
child. I'm actually not a child.
You're not?
No.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were. What are you, 30? 50?
23.
You're a baby. You're a child. 23. I remember when I was 23. Oh,
You do?
Yeah, some of it. Quite a wild time.
I can tell.
Partying down in Delaware. Oh, nasty stuff.
What the fuck is it? I don't. Okay.
No, they had the best clubs.
Oh, okay. So when did you see the light? What happened?
Well, I was at rock bottom. I was, you could say, living my best life. Drugs. Yeah, they do that to you. Make everything seem much better than it is. And let me tell you, when you hit the right spot, oh, amazing. But you can also go over. And I went over. Tried to change my life, and, well, didn't go too well. But as I was laying there in a ditch covered in my own vomit, I only had one choice. One last-ditch effort. And that was to cry. To hope that something would listen. And something did. As I looked up at the dark sky, clouds everywhere, I saw a light shine through, a star that was brighter than any other. And a hand came down and helped me. And I felt warmth again. But not that of booze and alcohol, something more, something like love.
That's a lovely story.
You don't have to try and entertain me. I know it's sad. And look,
No,
my life is still shit. It's still fucking awful.
but what have you done with, I mean, if you can go shoot someone like that, like surely you used it for something, right?
Oh yes, I saw the light when I was about in my 30s, and for the last 40 years, I've been trying to make a difference. My eyes are not blinded by that light. It was a creature from the realm of Earth, plane of Earth, whatever you want to call it. Something threw dust in my eyes, but it was poisonous and filled with silver, and didn't end too well, but I killed it. I fucked it right up.
Okay.
I think I did. I
Well,
remember I was blind.
can't you see through your dragon's eyes?
Oh, yes, I can, but it's a little impractical.
Well,
It shows me visions of things before me, and his eyes are quite old as well. Cataracts in one of them, so he's a little bit disjointed as well.
but like, then you wouldn't have had to like pinky promise me that I was a lot nicer looking. You could actually have seen it for yourself.
I could, but it's painful for the little guy.
Oh, it's painful. Is it painful? I asked Mushu.
Oh, no, he shakes his head.
Oh,
Yours is clearly a baby still. You've been
Well-
with him not a long time.
well, no.
But you'll see, as time goes on, he will grow alongside you. It doesn't get any bigger than that, unfortunately. Well, at least mine didn't, little shrimp. But you've got a lot of bonding ahead. He's a constant companion, and he will be your best friend. Well, mine is a burden, but yeah, friend. of
That's
some
not
kind.
very nice. Well, if it's supposed to be your companion, then surely you can't just call him a burden. Isn't that like a bit rude?
Yeah, it's rude, but again, I don't care.
Well, I hate old people sometimes. They're so rude for no reason.
You watch as the pseudo dragon climbs up his leg and just bites him in the side.
All right. Fuck off.
And he just slaps him away. The dragon then just kind of hovers in the air, just begins to spit fire on him.
So annoying. Well, anyway, don't worry about that. You will, if you're on the right path, you will eventually have some sort of connection between them. But I'll be honest, I never found out anything about the star above, just everything that the dragon has told me.
But what have the dragon? What has the dragon told you?
Well, that they're here with purpose. They're here for a guide. They are here to help us. They're
But
not
when you
here for
when
everyone.
you got your power or you saw the light or whatever, didn't you have like an urge to do something?
Yes. What sort of urge do you have?
Well, it's like helping, healing, making sure people don't die unnecessarily. You don't have like that kind of thing.
I do. I just don't use it.
But I did. How are you? How do you then keep your powers and stuff?
I don't really know how it works, really. I do ask the dragons sometimes, and, well, they seem a bit fed up with me at the moment, but there is love there somewhere. Do you want me to ask him now?
Sure.
You begin to hear in Draconic, his tongue
there's-
just begins to go mental. The dragon then replies back,
Oh, well, he says that there is a prophecy of sorts, something. Do you need to know more?
Well, I'm a little. Now you've like piqued my interest. What kind of prophecy?
he begins to look over, talk to him again in Draconic. He then responds back.
Well, he says something along the lines of, the stars will come down one day, and eventually this being that they originate from, its mother, will need to show its face and to help out when dire needs arise. He is here. Yours is here as an envoy of the beginning, something to warn us of the coming dangers. So, they guide you to a path that you need to fulfill. Is that right? Is that really everything?
You see the dragon looks up and shrugs.
He doesn't really seem to know himself. He knows a little bit jaded, perhaps.
I'm really confused.
So am I. Really,
Oh. Okay.
I'm quite confused. But if you're looking for more information, just talk to your friend. Do you
Well,
know Draconic?
Well, no.
Well, that's where you need to start off, really.
Well, I'm learning. It's just
Well, then learn faster if you want to know faster. Well, I can't really do anything else for you.
okay. Well. I did learn something from this awkward conversation, I guess. So I'll take that as a win.
Well, and I thank you. Seems like I'm not alone in this world. I have a sister, brother?
You have siblings?
No, I mean in you. Only child.
I can tell.
Well, May Sealy, I'm sure our paths will cross again at some point. With these dragons, I'm sure there's some grand scheme that's happening. I'm just here to have fun. So,
So you're saying we're gonna meet again?
not now, because I need to sleep. I'm quite tired.
Yeah, of course, but like, we're gonna meet each other again. That's what you said, right?
Well, I assume so, yes.
Oh, then I might then can I know your name? Or it's gonna be that mysterious weird guy.
How about we keep it a mystery?
So, but when people then ask me what I've done here, should I just say that I've talked to like a mysterious weird guy, or do you want to say?
No, you say that you've spoken to a really handsome young dude.
But that's like a lie.
Doesn't have to be the truth, does it?
Well, I don't like lying.
It's so difficult to work with.
Well, I don't mind lying, but it's like, why would I lie for my friends?
Okay, well, you can say that you've spoken to Silk. That's
Silk.
my nickname. Okay, that's what everyone knows me as.
Silk.
Yes, is that a problem?
No, it's just not a very common name.
Well, yeah, it's a nickname. I chose it. My actual name is quite generic, so I try not to use it as much. It seems quite mundane.
Oh, so you just it's just because your actual name is too boring. You had to like find a new name.
Yes, precisely.
Oh, I can get behind that. Well, not that I've done it, but
doubt. If
no,
you
my
have a
birth
cooler
name is
name.
Maisili. No, my birth name is Maisili, man.
Okay, well, look, man. I'm not going to bust your chops, man. You can do whatever you like, man.
Are you making fun of me?
Not at all, man. No, that's not what I do. I'm hip with the kids.
No, you're not.
Well, it's true. I have a broken hip.
I can tell.
Yeah, that's what the staff is for. All right. Well, I'm going to have a nap time now. But if I live to see you again, see you, get it? I'm blind. Then perhaps I can share some more of my. He just begins to fall asleep.
That was weird.
The dragon that he has that coils up his side, you see for a moment it's locked eyes with Mushu. And the two of them are just there, staring at each other. You see that they've almost like fallen into some void, the same void that many people do when they look into Mushu's eyes. They just kind of like lock there for a moment. And they don't move. They're still doing it.
I'm gonna pick him up.
Okay. You pick him up, and the heads kind of follow each other still, and you just continue to move away and try and like block his eyes. And then about after 5 minutes or so, he kind of like shakes out of it and just kind of acts back normal again, as if nothing had happened. But that was your encounter with a weird old guy.
I'm gonna try and find Kel, because I need someone who can speak Draconic.
Okay. You eventually find Cal. It's not too difficult. He's walking in the same areas as you, and you just find him there, wandering idly between theorists that are trying to grab his attention.
No, he's wandering with intent.
Sure.
He's asking.
Yes.
He's asking people if they know any. Like, he went to the historians, the
Mhm.
people, so the Hall of Remembrance, and he's trying to find people that have written books about like important politicians of the past.
Okay.
He's trying to find those specific people,
hmm
very specific nerds.
As you kind of go through trying to find them, you see Macy Lee kind of find you as you're looking through.
I need help with something. Or
Okay.
hi.
Hi.
Can you help me translate something?
Depends on the language, really.
Draconic.
Yeah, I can do that.
I look to Mushu. hoping you want to say something.
He looks to Cal. Hi. And
Hi.
I was told that I have to like inform Mayceli on what's actually going on.
That would be a great idea.
How
He
much
says
does
he has to inform you.
How
on
much
what's
does she
actually
want to
going
really
on.
know? What does she want to find out? Because there's a lot. There's a lot, to be honest.
Oh, he's making vague threats. He wants you to be sure that you actually.
He's kind of like looking back and forth as you say that.
Okay. I don't know.
Are you sure you want to know this? Because there is a lot.
Well, a weird blind guy told me that I needed to know this. So
Right. Honestly, those tend to be very trustworthy. So
yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
figured that could help me because I don't know when I am gonna learn Draconic.
Okay. She wants to know everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, she said she's not afraid.
Okay. Well, I heard her call. I was there, minding my own business, with the rest of my brothers and sisters, and I heard that there was a voice that needed help. And I climbed my way through the starry expanse of my home, and I arrived by her side. My mother followed suit and gifted her with the ability to defend and protect. This is the main crux of the situation. I have a goal in mind. I'm here to serve, to follow and aid Mayceli in her journey, but also there is a destiny that is needing to be fulfilled. Now, that is not just ours to do. That's many of my brothers and sisters out there who are aiding people in doing the same. This is not a cult.
Right. So he ended it very suspiciously. So I think I'm not going to repeat the last thing he said because it would make you suspicious. Because now I'm suspicious of it. And in Draconic, are you sure it's not a cult? Nah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so you were like in this. He heard you call out for him, and so he left the stars and came to you. And his mom followed him, whatever that means. He has lots of like sisters and brothers. He said.
Oh yeah, we just met one of them.
Oh, that's lovely. I also want to meet more dragons. Not now. The priorities. And then his mom gave you what I'm assuming is your magic. He didn't say that specifically, but he was like the power to protect and I forgot. He said a lot. He said something else. Well, something very important sounding. Oh yes, he said something about there is a destiny that has to be fulfilled, which ominous once again. But
It is really ominous.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'm more confused than. I'm okay. Thank you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find historians that have studied politicians to find out how a politician is successful.
Okay, that sounds really boring. So I'm gonna find something else to do.
All right, have fun. If you need to ask more questions to the dragon, just like call me. I can help.
Okay.
Bye.
Cal, you begin to look into how to become a politician 101. You can see that there are many people here that seem to get the idea. A lot of them are spewing out, you just need money. That's all it is.
Money.
Just a load of money, a load of cash. That's all it
Right.
takes. You buy your way to the top. You make those moves, and then one day you'll be ruling over your nation. Don't worry about what they say. If they call you a tyrant, fuck them. Doesn't matter. You're in charge. You can make the rules.
Right. That seems like how when did that last work? Like
Last
any
I heard,
current
never.
politician?
But don't make
Never.
that be the last of it all.
Okay.
You can be the first. You can achieve your dreams.
No,
Be
oh,
a
no,
tyrant.
not me,
Be a
really.
tyrant, man.
Yeah.
Be a tyrant.
Okay. Please stop yelling at me.
Now, if you'd like to
Just-
invest in me being a tyrant, here's my fucking GoFundMe page.
Right. No, thank you. Pleasure
All right.
talking to you.
Okay, see you in the next life.
See you. Hopefully not.
You go through all of these people, and they are spewing a load of nonsense. But I'd like you to roll just a intelligence check to see if anything retains any of the good info.
Intelligence.
You do
Oh,
still
no.
have disadvantage because you are.
I
first.
know.
11. Okay.
11.
You learn some of the more moral parts of being an active and good politician. You also
Mhm.
avoid some of the pitfalls that some of the more dastardly ones try and encroach and bring you into their circle, or like vampires trying to pull you in. But you stay away from those, and you kind of follow the main track. You get a rough idea on how politics work, and it gives you some key words to use in future conversation, at least.
Uh-huh.
As that's going on, we'll go over back to Axon just quickly. Axon, the ceremony, this kind of like chat has finished. People are beginning to walk out. But you can see that the horse is still paralyzed and now begins to have some movement to them. You see Pineapple shakes its head. What did he do to me?
Nothing serious. Just poke around inside the throat. Found some foreign object, which
Foreign
actually.
object. Did he place it there?
No. He said that if he would try to remove it, then yeah, you might probably suffer some conditions. It might like worsen your condition. It might just transfer it to him, or it might kill you or everyone else in this room. But you know, typical curses stuff.
So I am cursed.
Yeah. Do you remember visiting Shadow Keep or something like along the lines? Or the hand holding the Shadow Keep?
I'm gonna roll a check for him. I'm gonna roll it public.
Wonder what is his modifier, so.
He begins to think. Back in my day, I traveled a lot to different planes, studied libraries, many halls of learning, and I'd met very colorful creatures on my journeys. But a shadow shadow fell. I've been, but I don't know to what extent. These things tend to overlap quite a lot.
Remember eating something from that place? You know,
I've
swallowing
eaten
some
lots
rocks.
of things. I'd like to call myself a person of the arts, culinary as well. So I tend to digest everything that I come across, just to get a bead on what the place is like. You don't know a place until you've truly tasted their food. You are not one with the space that you find yourself unless you eat their cuisine.
Well, I cannot disagree with this statement, but apparently you actually become one with the place, because this place was probably way wild. So you know, this curse is kind of tricky and probably did something to you, though I don't know.
Well, then we must confront it head on. Now, on we go. He begins to trot.
Yeah.
How do we get there?
Don't rush things, because you might fall down. You know, that drug might still affect your limbs.
Does that mean that Apple the idiot is also under the same curse?
Probably not. I don't know. He never showed his. I would rather say extraordinary, like intellectual, like abilities. But I don't like. He's gifted, but alternatively, let's say that.
I'd like your subtle insults. They please me.
It's not insult. I just rather say it, well, not directly, but proof rather than lie, you know. And you spend more like time with him, like more than me, so you know.
At this
It's
point, Gorum Mask then comes back out after having seen everyone leave. So, do you want me to get down and dirty to see if I can remove this curse?
Yeah, but if you cannot, you know, cannot ensure his safety, I would rather you to, you know, avoid any modifications or attempts, to say.
Okay, well, I can bring someone else in and try and maybe slow things down a little bit. Zaya Day, she's hosting another talk panel, but it's finishing up. She deals in time magic, transmutation. Perhaps she can help slow down things as I operate and try and remove this curse.
You mean slowing down his dying, decaying, or what? What do you want to slow down?
Essentially freezing his body state so that I can more carefully remove this curse.
I mean, sure, yeah, if you can assure his safety with this method, then I guess. I don't think he will be against it.
Okay, well, let's try it then. I'll go and reconvene and bring Zaire in. If you have any other friends out and about, if you want to bring them in, you can bring them in and whatever. I'm sure he came in with some other fans. I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Even other friends with curses or just normal friends?
No, just friends in general. You have friends, right? Sorry for presuming.
I mean, at least I have him, you know. He's my most trustworthy friend. Who will
The
never
horse shakes his head violently.
Who will never spill my secrets to anyone because no one can talk to him, you know.
That's very true. It's a good thing I don't know any speak with animals, because I'll be talking to him right about now to understand what's going on.
Oh,
but I'll bring Zaire in. So, see in a bit, and he begins to head out. You left her with Pineapple by yourself. You see Pineapple just begins to trot around. I don't like this. I'm quite nervous, you know. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, your body language kinda speaks for itself.
Are you a horse whisperer now? Do you understand horse language?
Well, I had my share in dealings with animals, people, all sorts of things, you know. Even animated objects were once.
He's visibly nervous. He's kind of, yeah, and I don't really know about this. I might just leave. He begins to like trot off towards the front door.
Come on, just relax. It won't be, you know, painful. You won't even feel a thing. It just, you know.
But what if I deserve this, Axon? What if there's a reason why I don't remember everything? What if I'm like this because of something that I did?
Well,
clearly I've made someone angry.
Oh,
why else would I be a fucking horse?
I don't know, honestly, and that's why I'm so curious. But you know, there are other means of erasing your memories and forgetting of who you are without turning into an animal. You know, it's even if you will not like what you will remember, even if you will remember anything we don't even know for sure. We can always alter your memories and make all those bad things disappear.
You're not taking my soul, Axon. It's not happening.
Oh, I don't need your soul. Come on, like who do you think I am? Like some sort of bloody devil?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
you think too high of me, honestly.
As this continues, would you like to bring the rest of the party with you to this, or
Well,
are you just going to be there with Pineapple?
I think we will be wandering around, like to helping him to calm down a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
If we will stumble upon anyone who will, show some interest in this curse removal, then I would not say no.
Okay. As you begin to walk around with Pineapple, you do see Olrin, who is currently kind of finishing up his enchantment lesson, which is just across the way. Olrin, you can see still sat alongside this enchanter, this Majora. She just kind of looks over. Well, these are but the first steps. You've learned the essentials of the blue flame. You've not mastered it perfect yet, but there is also a chance for improvement. But your skill is very noteworthy. You've done an excellent job with cloth, which is one of the more difficult starting points. It's trying to imbue this into more fortified means. But time is definitely on your side.
Well, thank you for your compliment. And your time, of course. Alton, the blue flame is truly marvelous. It is quite a versatile enchantment, if I may say so myself. But I'll certainly spend the time needed to learn it, to master it truly.
If you wish to learn more, there is the tribes in Tunthir. But if you wish to find them, it is with the blue flame that you will do so. They are held deep within the jungles. But the flame will guide you if you wish to follow. And I will be here for the period that this show is going on for. I did make a promise that I would show face. But after this, well, I'll be traveling, so perhaps our path may cross again. But until then, may the blue flame guide you forward.
Thank you. May Moradin shine light on your path.
She gives a bow forward as well. Axon, Olrin, you see each other across the way as you're finishing up.
Ah, excellent. Great timing, actually. I was just done. And I see you're on your way with Pineapple. He does look a bit agitated.
Well, yeah, we have some. We made some arrangements, our theory, or more or less my theory on him cursed. I think it got some confirmation, and yeah, they will.
You were right. You were right then. He actually is cursed.
Well, seems that way at least.
Huh. Oh.
Hey, if you want to join us and witness it, from the first row, I don't think he would be against, and neither would I.
Yes, gladly. I was planning to talk to Grorum Mask, regardless, though for another reason entirely.
Yeah.
At this point, as the two of you are discussing this, you hear someone to your side as they walk past. They just say, yeah, and their names were Axon, Olrin, Steely. There was a guy called Cal, and this really cool girl called Helen. She seemed to be the leader of their group. You just hear that conversation walk past you.
There is also, I think we've come up with a name.
Okay.
Wait, did we settle on one?
I mean, I'm cool with the last one, the shortened version. If everyone else says.
Well, Marie hasn't really responded to any of it. So, Marie, do you like greatness?
Well, I just realized now that we had a whole talk in the chat. Sorry, I'm just.
If you're not on
You
board
alright
with
with the bottom
Seekers
one?
of Dreams, we also have a few honorable mentions up top.
Yes.
Tuco's taste testers, there's that.
No,
fuck?
no. It's definitely no. I veto it.
I'm still very fond of Ooze Patrol.
Okay.
I still
Ooze
like that.
Patrol.
I honestly, guys, I had enough of that like lovely version stuff. I never want to experience it again. So yeah, let's at least like have some sort of seriousness.
I'm good with
Ooh.
Seekers of Dreams. I don't know.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So Helen was saying a name.
Yeah, so you just hear, yeah, and they were called like Seekers of Dreams. Really? Why are they called that? Just hear that continues just in the distance as they walk away. You also hear your name mentioned somewhere else, like in another group. Yeah, there's this new group called Seekers of Dreams. Yeah, pretty cool. I think we're going to dress up as them next year. You just hear this back and forth.
I just turn around to Accent. It seems we've become famous, and apparently we have a group name.
Yeah, apparently we do. We do have one. Never heard of it though.
Well, the worst thing about this is I don't even know whose courtesy this is. Honestly, it might be all three of them.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Imagine all three of us have just been spreading different stories.
Yes.
There is just a fuck ton of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were called Seekers of Dreams. No, I'm honestly completely sure they are called Tuco's Taste Testers.
I wonder if there were any truth in their stories at all. But yeah, sooner or later we will find out eventually.
You guys follow these whispers. Cal and Maycelia, the two of you as well, begin to hear these whispers around you. And they all seem to be coming from one singular spot. And you can see just kind of like in the distance, she's taller than most of them there. You see Helen just kind of beginning to like talk around, gesture very grandly with like swaying motions, telling the story of your journey so far.
If she sees any of them kind of coming towards her, she'd kind of try to like gesture at them like not now. And if they keep coming closer, she'd kind of try to wind down the storytelling so that they don't get like accosted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she'd try to awkwardly like excuse herself if they're like actually coming over.
Well,
No,
two of us are
don't leave
cosplaying.
yet. Please
Two of us
continue.
are cosplaying, so. Yeah, Cal's also from the other side of them just, yes, please continue, this is entertaining.
They begin to look around. They look towards Olrin. They look towards Cal. And you see some of these people like, oh my god, it's them. Oh my god, it's them. They all begin to like growing closer to you.
Ah.
Cal, you see one of them walks up, and kind of like
Helen would just excuse herself as they get distracted.
Helen is the Homer Simpson in the bushes meme, completely fades away in the crowd, the sea of people who are just now enamored at seeing a real life superhero in the flesh as they walk up to Cal. Oh my god. Oh my Moradin. You are... Looks you up and down.
You're the best man.
Perfect. You are perfect.
Why am I perfect?
This one person looks up to you for a moment. Oh my god, I heard the tales. I heard
Oh.
everything. You escaped from
Everything?
Moradin's temple as it was falling apart. You jumped through the
Mm.
cloud of dust. You saved everyone. You're a hero.
Right. Is that
Chance is
everything
good.
she told you? Or like,
Oh no, there's so
because
much
she
more.
might have left some parts out there.
There's so much more. And they begin to like
Oh.
speak of the entire journey so far. There's a lot of porcupines in there, a lot of lies.
Uh-huh.
You killed this Yeti. I thought
We
that
actually
that was
did.
impossible.
Well, we didn't get to. I really wanted to fight one, but they kind of. Sword!
And you rode
Sure, we killed the Yeti.
fluttering-
Yes!
you rode a Shimmerwing dragon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was
Oh my.
really friendly.
Oh my. You see one of them faints. Oh. The greatness, I cannot hold it anymore. Oh my god. Sign my forehead. Sign my forehead, please. I need it.
Sure. Just happily signing, and also in between is just going. Are all he like from Calzaria, or are any of you visiting from different continents? It's just a fan interaction. Just going like, oh, where are you from? How's your
I'm
day?
from my mom's home. I live in a basement.
Oh, that's great. I've lived with my mum for most of my life, so
Can
we share
Can you
that.
sign my ass?
No.
Okay.
I was just about to ask if I could sign someone's tits.
Someone goes
Oh,
up to you. They're like, hey, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Sign away. You are surrounded by fans. It sometimes gets a little bit overwhelming.
Helen would try to like sneak around the crowd, kind of back behind, and tap on Axon's shoulder and do like the, like.
Don't just abandon us.
No, try to do the like, let's try to get everyone out of here real casually, kind of thing, and try to slowly drag.
As you're
I
kind of trying to like subtly pull away, Exon, all of this is somewhat dispersed by someone looking towards you, Cal, and they're enamored by you in this moment. But then you hear someone just shout, "That's not Cal! This is the real Cal!" And you see just beyond your shoulder, behind you, there's someone who has already attempted a cosplay of you. And one that is incredibly realistic to the descriptions that were given. And you just,
I'm dressed like Galavendrian, so
yeah, you see everyone begin to rush over. Oh my god! They just begin to push away each other. You see people diving in the way, and you just see this like half ogre individual just kind of looking over, curly, long red hair, just kind of flapping in the wind. Begins to look down and around at everyone.
I'm not that tall.
People begin to rush over as fast as they can.
I can do something about that. Can I use like
No.
can I use like mage hand to like remove the cosplay?
Okay.
No. No. That's how the cosplays work. I'm not wearing my normal
You-
stuff under the cosplay. That's how it
Are you removing Cal's cosplay or the half?
No, the fake
half
Cal.
organ?
Oh
Yeah.
God! He's still
You,
gonna be naked on the set.
as everyone begins to kind of like flee away from this as the distraction is made, you stay behind for a moment, mage hand over, and you see this zipper going down the back. Seems to be like one of these all-in-one kind of cosplay outfits, which are like ready-made. And you kind of like grab it, you pull it down, and then it just continues to open up. Turns out this ogre is nude, and the entire thing just like falls down past his shoulders, past his waist, and he's just kind of like standing there. Oh no, as he is now showing his manhood, and everyone is slightly perturbed. You hear people scream, begin to run away. In fact, as security are now coming in to try and assess the situation.
Can we stop
But-
for a moment and
Yeah.
bring in the chaos into this place?
No, well, I just kind of figure it is really rude to like, pretend you're someone else, especially if that someone is a friend. So it's.
Honestly, I think what
I
you did
didn't know
right
he was
now
nude. I didn't know he was nude. I just wanted to expose him for being a liar.
You
Oh, you
exposed
definitely
him.
exposed him.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
Oh boy. Right, we should leave. There's security coming. Security don't typically like me. Let's go.
Yeah, you should leave, but I still have
I really
some
don't want to get kicked out.
business to attend to. I was never part of it, so I can talk my way.
Oh no, we
out of
can
it.
just leave to a different room. Joe just shh. Cal just goes to a different room, like probably dragging Macy along, just being like, "Nope, come on, let's go."
You all rush in and find yourself following Axon's line as you end up in the same room where this kind of ritual is going to take place with Pineapple. You can see already waiting in there for you to return. You see the dwarf enchanter, but you also see this female tabaxi. You see that she's about middle in age, kind of like a cheetah sort of design to a leopard print. But as she kind of like stands there in this long gown, you see every so often the whiskers grow longer and shorter. You see her stature begins to grow shorter and taller. She is constantly almost like in flux of age and size as she keeps going smaller, larger, back and forth in age. At one point, you see the fur almost grow grayer towards the fine hairs, and sometimes they pull back and become less abundant. A constant shifting back and forth, and the clothes seem to mimic that, enchanted to follow suit. But you all arrive, and you see the dwarf kind of waiting there for you. Ah, so you still going to go through with it? Although you know the risks, still happy to proceed?
I said Pineapple. Could you somehow assure of his, I don't know, safety? Well, let's be real, he's really nervous about it, so, Could you help me somehow calm him down,
Are you asking me to drug your friend?
No. Could you, tell some assurance that everything will be fine, that everything will go smoothly? Just like piece of a cake. For you, at least. That
I
you
can
are
drug
really
him for you if you
professional.
want.
No, thank you.
Cal, bad
It's a
timing.
different, kind of drugs.
Yeah.
You see he kind of takes it on board. Sure thing. He walks over. Pineapple. This procedure has some risk involved, but you have the best person for the job. I'm not a horse doctor. I think they're called vets, but I understand curses, and you have a curse. I'm probably the best person that you can find in relative short time, and this curse itself, I can get rid of it. Just needs a certain few things lining up. Like with any procedure, there's going to be some risk involved. You understand that? The horse nods. Okay, then he understands. What we'll be doing is we'll be slowing time around you. So time will stand still. That means the curse that you have will also be held in a stasis. So we'll have some time to be able to remove it carefully. Now, as long as everything works out fine, that means we can pull it away and you'll no longer be affected. But we'll figure this out as it goes on. Zaya Day is a professional. She is an archmage in her craft. She is the best when it comes to time magic and transmutation. Curses is something that she's dealt with as well. She's affected with a curse daily. But we know what you're going through and we can help you.
I will slightly pet the side of the pineapple and I say, yeah, don't worry. I'm some sort of wizard myself. I will assist in the procedure.
This is the only time that he doesn't push you off. And you continue to kind of scrunch into the side and hold him there. He nods, he understands the procedure. You see, he kind of looks around. All right, let's do this then.
Before you proceed, I do know a few healing spells. If I could be of use, I could help stabilize him.
Yes, that'll be perfect. If you could just maintain some level inside him, that'll be great. Just make sure that his heart rate isn't going too over the top. We can freeze certain things around him, but his life force is still there. So if you can maintain that, that'll be great.
And
I'll try my
also,
best.
I have one thing which might actually help you with your procedure if things will go not so smoothly as you think they would. I pull out this goblet of good luck. So, just have a good sip out of it and the Lady Fate might be more favorable for you today. To you today.
He takes a swig. Okay, let's try it, Zaya. If you could, please. You see the Tabaxi reach forward and a mesmer of a heat wave begins to just emerge from her hand. As it does, you see the general area when the horse stands begins to turn into this molasses, slows down as if he's been covered in a layer of gelatin. He himself, his blinking begins to slow down. His heart rate and breath begins to almost stop completely. Brooke, you wanted to say something?
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, Helen will just play a really slow, rotating apple, I don't know, something soothing, just kind of in front of his eyes to try and keep him calm in case he starts to panic.
Yeah, sure.
Just with minor illusion, just
His eyes just continue to follow and then go slower and slower. Then he's just fixed into that point.
I feel like Cal and Mycelia just in the seating area watching from Cerero's back, okay, what the fuck is happening?
Seeing this procedure take place, you watch as the body then lies down on the ground, mouth open, as the dwarf begins to prepare his method. His hands are dipped in this oil, which he pulls out of an invisible space in his side. You smell this kind of almost like bleach scent to it, where it's sterilized, clean, but there is almost an aura that stays on his hands, like that of a thin layer, like a glove, that just stays on it like a bubble around him. He then begins to go in and delve deeper into the mouth and begin the procedure. For this, I would like Ilya, if you could roll a d20 for me.
With d6 or without? Is it skill check?
This will be just a straight d20 roll, and if you could also add the goblet as well. You'll be rolling for this check.
Okay, so it's plus goblet fee, right?
Yeah,
And
plus
you
the
can-
goblet die.
And you can add a d4 because I just figured out that Bless doesn't actually work on skill checks, so instead I'll cast Guidance.
Sure thing. Okay. You begin to see the hand delve in, and he is kind of up to his elbow inside, trying to weave. As he's beginning to find the same spot he was in before. Huh. Okay, I might need to just change up my tactic a little bit. He begins to shift his weight around, pulls out another kind of small device by his side, and reaches in with the other hand. He is now both arms deep inside, trying to move this object around. He pulls out like a carving tool, which seems to be enchanted. As he begins to make the incision, he begins to look around. All right, just keep an eye out in case something pops up. Sometimes when you start delving in curses, if it's the demonic kind, they try to intervene. As he is now both hands deep. Yeah.
If you need any like assistance of holding, I don't know, this object still, I might help you with. And I take like out the footstools. I don't know, maybe I can be of some assistance.
I think this is going to be a one-man job, unfortunately. But just keep an eye out, maintain his levels, and I'm just going to start the incision now. If I need you, I'll let you know. He continues to cut away inside. With every incision, you almost hear the squelching sound of something carving inside. As he does, with every shift of movement, you can see Zaya, this transmutation wizard, shift in her weight, as though she's kind of like fighting back something every so often.
This is quite a tricky one. There is something on the other side trying to interfere with my spell. But demons are an easy competition. It's just trying to find a way around it.
She continues to fight back whatever is trying to push away. I would like Ulrin, if you could roll a d20, please.
And can I, in the meantime, just use an action and gaze into ethereal plane? Look, maybe
Of course you can.
Like see what she's fighting, or if I can notice anything. No?
Sure. As you spend a moment to look around, you see, even through a held stasis in time, the body does shift every so often, has a convulsion, a move, as if something's pulling at its strings, like a puppet. You look around in this otherworldly plane around you, and you see this trail of smoke pouring out of the horse's mouth, nose, and ears. Just a faint black smoke trailing upwards. No one else can see it. It's just you with this vision at the moment.
Do I also perceive the original form of the horse? Because it actually says that I might perceive the original form of shape changer or transformed creature. Okay, it's not.
Not through this, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't see what is fighting, basically, that stasis effect.
But you see the smoke is pouring out more and more. Like a fire that's beginning to catch a light. And the smoke is becoming more abundant.
Yeah. Out of my study and knowledge which I gathered so far, studying the courses, can I get the idea if if it's helping or it's making actually the situation worse? What the gnome trying to
roll this will be a medicine check.
Okay, medicine. Yeah, I'm a bit good at this. 16.
16.
At
This is a moment where the curse is binded quite strongly to this horse, to Pineapple, and there is this. If you make the first incision, all of that energy that's been kept inside is going to disperse rapidly. Now it is a job of stoking those flames and trying to maintain them at a level that is suitable and manageable. You can see that this guy is currently fighting those back, but the flames are becoming more and more present, so he's fighting a losing streak at the moment.
Okay. If he is losing, yeah, I don't even know what. I don't have anything like to assist him. Yeah, can I cast like some sort of cure wounds and try to push that smoke? I don't know. Try to extinguish and remove that smoke like altogether.
Sure. You go down with Ulrin, and I'd like just the two of you to roll a spellcasting check, as the two of you are kind of maintaining this ability. You're kind of healing any wounds.
Yeah, and I will point to Ulrin, like at least the general area where the smoke comes from, and like, the later reference at that point, or at least the area spellcasting. But basically, it's a spellcasting check.
Yeah.
Guys, stop!
I
Please
have
stop
so many
rolling this badly!
I have so many modifiers.
I know, dude, I know.
And I rolled just a
Nat
2.
2. Both of you roll a 2. Shit.
Yeah.
You both begin to try and pump in your healing magic, one more spiritual than the other, but you're fighting it, and you see that he's kind of looking towards you. Yeah, that's good. Just keep doing that. I'm just gonna continue carving away down here. He continues and continues through your ethereal vision that you can see, Axon. You can see the flames, the smoke itself is becoming stronger, and now at this point you almost see it kind of obscuring the complete face of Pineapple as it's just pouring out of every orifice that's there. The smoke pouring out from him. You can almost see the dwarf's hair is being affected by it, although he cannot see it, nor can anyone else. But it's like the gouts of smoke are hitting against him, and he's kind of like having to wince in one eye and try and focus further.
You really don't have much time left, Doc. You know, it's kind of progressing, and you know, you might get affected too.
I'd like to redouble my efforts with a remove curse spell.
Okay.
This seems kind of attached, but this is a bit more direct than healing.
Go for it. So,
Considering
go for it.
Considering Cal has owned multiple horses, would he have made enough visits to horse vets to have like a general idea of what you typically have to look out in horse health?
Fuck me.
Is Cal just looking there like, no, you shouldn't do that.
This will be an animal handling check first and foremost.
Okay.
Then I'm going to ask you to make a horse medicine check, but we'll see what the roll is first.
Check.
You know
Oh,
you're
yes,
is
let's
wrong.
go.
Both at disadvantage,
This
yeah.
seems like it's going.
Okay, let's see.
poorly.
10.
Okay. You unfortunately do not have enough knowledge in horses to be able to be asserting its health. It's frozen in time, which makes you think, this is probably a bit outside of my expertise. But if you wish to try something...
That could have been a 23, by the way. That would have been way funnier. What would Cal like to try? He would definitely like to try something. I have no idea what though. Does he know of any herbs maybe that calm down horses? Not drugs. No drugs. I'm not thinking drugs. But like
The-
Herbs that increase horse health.
The obvious
Maybe
answer:
just the
feed
dead.
the horse weed.
He looks stressed. Feed him weed.
Like smoke is coming out. Let's make other smoke come out.
Twitching. That looks weird.
Fight smoke with smoke.
Okay, what do you want me to roll for a horse check?
I'm gonna need you to roll a medicine check for me.
Medicine. Got it. 50.
Oh my god. Yes, you have something that you can scrounge together, but it's whether you are fast enough to apply it.
Yeah.
So I will need you to roll a sleight of hand check to see how well you can put together the ingredients to make this paste and apply it.
Come on, dice gods. 11.
11. Okay. Then for this, as you begin to like rub in this ointment into the side of the horse, which is frozen in time, you try to kind of push in the herbs. There's a little bit of spices in there that you're like, it doesn't matter, it's okay. But you just rub it in. It's like, yeah, it'll help. The next person to roll have a d6 to the roll.
Yes!
Um,
Hell yeah! I helped!
It's not me who roll next. I think it's Olren with room, of course.
Yeah.
Before we'll save that for Orin, but Helen, you wanted to do something.
I am gonna preemptively pull out my rapier just in case.
Sure.
Because this does not seem to be going well.
Mhm.
I don't know what you mean. It's frozen in place, and you know.
An occultist,
The guy has both
and
of his hands up his mouth.
an
And
occultist and a priest violently casting magic on this thing. Someone with their arm shoulder
Both
deep
arms,
in its maw.
both arms.
It's obvious
Yes.
we are fighting for his soul. I try to
It
get
is
to steal
frozen
it.
in time, and
What?
Cal is rubbing ointment on it
At one point,
all at the same time.
at one point, a janitor walks in, and he leaves.
Can I feel like obviously the horse like has feelings, but can I feel anything else? Feeling things in the horse's space, if you know
Yeah,
what
sure.
I mean. Like
Roll a insight check.
What the fuck is
18.
Yay!
Okay.
We're
You
inside the smoke.
you sense something building inside this creature. Something that has a sentiment of anger and frustration that their curse is trying to be removed. As this tension is building, you can sense the presence is becoming more and more actual and realized. And you notice, because you're kind of looking around, rapier in hand, alert, the pendants that you were given by Aiden Hassar. He said that he hasn't imbued them with any energy yet, but you see they
What?
flicker
No.
red. You see a red light begin to beep, flicker in what was originally a blue crystal, as there was something coming.
It's
You
What?
ready yourself, and Olrin, you are the man for this task. I'm going to need you to roll, since this is above your remove curse level, treating this as like a dispel magic. I will need you to roll a d20, adding, well, this will just be your spellcasting ability, so plus a d6.
Anna, this is your moment.
You
You realize that?
So basically,
It's
spellcasting
to
check.
redeem yourself.
Spellcasting
Big
plus a
whammies.
d6, yes.
big numbers.
Spellcasting plus 1d4
Mm-hmm.
guidance, plus
1d6 from herbs.
proficiency,
The
plus my
power of weed.
plus my plus one.
It's not weird.
You don't have proficiency
Plus
on
one.
this. It's your spellcasting ability is just your wisdom.
Okay,
Same
fair
as
enough.
dispel magic.
Okay, then I still get a I still get a +1 from my spellcasting focus, I think.
Yes, you would, yeah.
Okay, +1d6. I have so many modifiers, and you could not have chosen
If
a
it's
worse
another
person to try.
nat one, Arne, if it's another
swear to
nat
God.
one, I am gonna lose my fucking mind.
Big
Here
number.
goes.
Come on, you can.
Big.
Well, I rolled absolute trash.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
You rolled
It's a
one,
3. I hate.
one
too.
Oh
above
my
the
god,
rust
it's a
roll.
3.
It's a free.
15. That
with-
is so
with-
far the best roll.
It's
Well,
a
I
3,
did have
3,
8 at
3.
some point, but
Forge is learning to count. Don't worry about it.
I got stuck on 3 times.
Oh my god.
this
Right.
is the best I can do.
You, as
Oh,
for a moment you are pressing your hand in, you feel the curse. You fail to remove it. And you all see black smoke begin to bellow out of the mouth of Pineapple. The beads on your necklaces, this blue gem, bright red, as the form of the smoke begins to solidify into some sort of shape above. You begin to see eyes through the smoke, large, staring down at the group of you. The presence, the shadows, everything around this room grows dark. But then, Olrin, you feel this pull backwards, and you look over your shoulder as all of this reverses in time, and you see Zayade look at you and gives you one finger. You have one more chance. She's giving you a reroll.
Okay.
I was about to use
Magic
my
wizard.
inspiration die for this.
Magic wizard.
but this works
Magic
too.
wizard. Let's go. Come
Time
on.
wizard.
Time magic.
No one say anything about this roll. No one say anything. You just rolled.
You reroll everything again. D4s, D6s.
Wait,
No.
wait! I have an inspiration. I can
It's-
try again.
No, Arne, come on, it's just fate. Let's
Please don't.
face it.
Please
I
don't.
don't care. We are doing it.
It's just fate.
You will somehow get worse. You will roll in that 1 on the 20 again, but it will be a 1 on the D4 D6 too. And then it will be like 13. It will just get worse.
I will try.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
You see, he had to do it the first 2 times, and then it added together.
Yeah, it was close. Almost.
It doubles.
Fuck
There we
yeah.
go.
I'm fucking speechless.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is intense.
And all
So-
this only for a proper and normal horse, which we got 1 week ago.
You, for a moment, the pressure of having seen what is a demon as your necklaces glue, perhaps a demon that you will face at some point, had arrived and was brought back inside of the horse. Given one last chance, the nerves had begun to overwhelm you as your hand found the neck of the horse Pineapple as it lays there bare. Your hand shakes and quivers, and there's a moment where, as you breathe in to steady yourself, you smell the sea breeze, the tides shifting your arm over to the left, and your energy, the magic that Moradin has bestowed upon you, shoots into the horse, and all of you see as the black smoke continues to bellow out, and now becomes realized for all of you to see. The black smoke breaks apart with the sounds of a hammer hitting against them, and they solidify in space and then break and shatter. The dust itself settling on the ground and vanishing completely as the cloud of dust and black putrid smoke just crumbles into nothing. You then see as the Tinkerer's arm pulls out this wedge of a metal structure. And as he holds it in his hand, he looks around to all of you. The curse is removed. I don't know how you did it, but it's gone. With that, you begin to see Pineapple on the ground, his form shift and shift, morphing from that of a horse to something thinner, to something bonier, to say lightly. You watch as this horse, something that is a mammal, has flesh and blood running through it, forms into something that is more skeletal, a carapace of like a insect. Its form shifts into something that is bipedal and bug-like, and it just lays there, medium in size and resembling what looks like a humanoid grasshopper of sorts, wearing clothes, items dangling from its side, and has a slight glow to elements around its body, enchanted items that it carries. It holds some sort of mysticism around it. You just watch as the other two kind of look on, confused, not knowing what they see. And the rest of you watch on as well. But for a moment, you can feel those necklaces that were glowing red fade away. But a presence still lingers, as though something has watched and looked at each one of you in the crumbling dust of the black smoke. Eyes has locked in each one of your faces. But the curse is removed. And left there is this humanoid insect creature. And since we're out of time, that's pretty much where we're going to end it this session.
Let's go.
Pick it up next time. By the way, the DC for that check was a 28. So,
hell yeah! My D6 actually counted.
a D20 would have done it, but you needed those additional modifiers to be able to complete and remove this curse. So, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.